Hey everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I want to go over some of the supplies you need to get started as an eBay reseller and some things you don't. Let's dive in. I've been selling on eBay since 2011 and I have found over the years that I've bought things that I thought I was really going to use as an eBay reseller that I ended up never using. And I bought things that I use every single day. So I wanted to go over these items with you to help you in your journey to sell on eBay and other online platforms. I've got links below in the description. Starting with cleaning items, I would say Goof Off is a really great cleaner to get like really stubborn labels off of items. But honestly, you go to the dollar store and get yourself a bottle of rubbing alcohol. This stuff I probably use 95% of the time. This will take off most labels and definitely the Sharpie because they have to write twice, right? You know, some places it's like not just a label, but then they mark it on the item in a Sharpie. But alcohol will take it off 95% of the time, and I use this all the time. For the stickers that never come off, Goof Off is really good. You spray this on and the key is to let it sit for a while. I know you're impatient like I am, but you have to let it sit. Goof Off, Goo Gone. I don't know where my Goo Gone has gone somewhere. I don't know if someone took it, but whatever. Goo Gone is another one that is a really good one to use. So I have all of these as part of my getting the item cleaned off. And then obviously I wash them, you know, if it's dishes, or I'll throw them through the dishwasher. If they're really like nice glassware that shouldn't be put into the dishwasher, sometimes I might put that on the really gentle cycle in the dishwasher, or I might hand wash it. But honestly, you can always drop something when you're hand washing it. So there's a 50-50 chance. Is it bad to put it through the dishwasher? Once, I don't think is horrible on a gentle cycle. Oftentimes when I buy clothing, I will bring it home, I'll throw it in the washing machine, and then either the dryer or hang dry it depending on what the care instructions are. Sometimes you may find a stain after you've bought it and you're like, no, why didn't I look at it more carefully? But that happens. I gotta tell you, this is magic. I love this stuff. My friend Sherry told me about it years ago, and I have found it at the dollar store when I lived in California. I don't find it here in New York, but you can get it on Amazon. And this stuff, not only does this clean stains, but it will also clean pet stains. So I put this on the carpet or on couches, and the stain goes away. It is the best stuff I've ever used. If you are cleaning bigger items like furniture and things like that, Krud Kutter is a great cleaning solution to use. I see all the furniture flippers use it all the time, and I have it, it's out in the garage. But it's a really great cleaning solution. So definitely get some Krud Kutter if you have some bigger items like furniture. Early on when I was selling a lot more clothing, I bought a steamer. I bought one of those floor steamers. You know, I was like thinking I'm a professional or something. I hardly ever used it. It was like the biggest waste for me. But there are a lot of people that do use hand steamers, and they have little portable ones now that are definitely easier and, you know, less cumbersome to use. The thing that I use all the time are clothing shavers. These are fantastic. I use them on my sweaters, and obviously when I buy things and there's maybe some pilling on them, you just rub it around the clothing like that, and it takes all the pills off, and it's really good to have. This one is wonderful. It's rechargeable, so you don't have to put batteries in. I love that. So for me, I would go for a fabric shaver over a steamer because, as I said, I throw clothing that I buy right into the washing machine, then into the dryer or hang it dry, and then I photograph it and bag it, and it goes into my inventory. So I don't need a steamer in there. Next up, I would get a really good tape measure. This one is 16 feet. I don't really need anything more than that. I use a tape measure all the time for not just the items I purchase, but also for the boxes, and for obviously when I'm doing my shipping, I have to enter that information in. A good tape measure is something I use all the time. a fabric tape measure. The only difference is really is what you're using it for. This is for fabrics. I use this all the time when I'm taking pictures of clothing. I'll lay them flat often and I'll show the armpit to armpit, the shoulder to waist, all of those measurements. And they're not expensive. Again, this is something you can pick up at the dollar store. Next up is a photo lighting booth. I do have a photo lighting booth, but it's actually in storage, but that's a whole other story. My temporary area right now for photographing items is a table with a white cloth on it and a white background. That's the best and simplest thing you can do. So if you can improvise something like that with a white background, it will look great. On clothing, oftentimes I have a form that I use, so I will put the jacket or the shirt on the form and take pictures of that. Also, I will lay them flat and then put the tape measures on it so people can actually see the measurements, but then I'll put the measurements into the description as well. If you want to up your game a little bit, these photo booths are really good to have, and they come with multiple backgrounds. So sometimes if you have something that's like silver or bronze, it could look really stunning against a black background. So you can play with the backgrounds a little bit and the colors that they come with. I do like them. They also have lighting kits with them, so the lighting looks good. There's no real glare. Sometimes I have trouble with that in this room where I do photograph a lot of my items. You absolutely have to have a really good scale. When you're doing your shipping, you have to be accurate with the weight. Nothing can screw up things more than if you have not done the weight and the box measurements correctly. I use this one, the Accuteck one. This thing has been through the war. A lot of boxes have gone on. Here's a pro tip. Sometimes the boxes are really big and you can't even see the numbers when they come up. If you've got a box that's coming out to here, that's why there's this little button on the side. So you put the box on top, you press this button, it holds what the weight is. These Accuteck ones are great. I've had this one for many years. Next up is a tape gun. I use this every time I do my shipping, and it's really makes life so much easier than those little tiny things. Grab one of these tape guns, really helpful, really easy to use, and you just pop the tape, zip up your boxes. This goes into the must-have and use all the time column for my eBay reselling. And while we're at it, you want to get tape. You buy it in bulk. Definitely get yourself a good amount of tape so you always have it in stock. Everyone needs a really good set of scissors. These are my favorites, and they have a magnetic back where you can pop it on. Our refrigerator is not stainless steel, so it works great, and you know where the scissors are all the time. Storage bins are a must-have for your inventory, especially if you do clothing. It's great to pack everything up and put it into a storage bin so you know where they're located. There's nothing worse than trying to search around, where did I put that item? A lot of my storage bins I purchased at Costco. They do have them on sale quite often, and I think they run somewhere around $7.99 or $9.99. Some of you may not need that. Maybe you have a closet where you put things. When I first started selling on eBay, I would print my labels on paper. Not only is that just such a waste, but you go through your ink pretty quickly. So finally, a few years ago, I invested in a Moonbin thermal printer. So you don't have to worry about ink or anything like that, and it's easy to set up. The labels turn out great. I use this every single time I'm printing, and I really love it. It does come when you buy it generally with a stack of labels, not a huge stack. So then you'll just have to buy additional labels so you never run out. Boxes. Where do you get your boxes from? Well, generally I hold on to the ones that I get from things that are shipped to me. My mom buys from QVC quite a bit, so I have a lot of boxes that come in all the time. I would start by holding on to boxes. I would also ask friends and family to hold on to boxes and give them to you. They can break them down and you can keep them stored in a closet or in the garage. My sister does this all the time. She'll hold on to packing peanuts that come in items that she's bought, and those are really helpful. So I always have some packing peanuts on hand. I haven't really ever had to buy a lot of stuff. What I do buy in bulk is bubble wrap. Bubble wrap, actually through Amazon directly, I get 2 giant rolls that usually last me quite a while. I do save the packing paper, the packing peanuts, and the bubble wrap that come in from other shipments. So I rarely have to buy more bubble wrap. Save and reuse. That's what I always say. If you don't get a lot of items shipped to you, as I said, ask friends, ask family. Sometimes on recycling nights, you can go out and you can see boxes everywhere. People put their boxes out, and I see people pick up the boxes all the time. So it's not a bad thing to do that. You're recycling, and not having to pay for items. For people who sell a lot of clothing, I would get clear poly bags. This Ralph Lauren shirt I just bought a few days ago, and I washed it and I've photographed it, and now I'm sealing it up. And then once you seal it up, you can file it away in your storage bins. Another thing for clothing, poly mailers. This one is a used one, so I'm not showing you the other side with the label on it. These are the poly mailers that I generally have for shipping, and I'll just take, like this shirt will go right into the poly mailer, and I'll ship it out that way. Padded envelopes, I use these all the time for many different things. Sometimes I even will pack breakable item that has been bubble wrapped into one of these, and then I put it into a box so that there's just extra padding all around it. These are really helpful. I have these in 2 different sizes, and I really, really like them a lot. They're self-sealing and they're very durable. For jewelry or for looking at markings on the back of items, I have a little loupe, and this is little. It's supposed to light up as well, but I've just ordered a new one, which again, I have the links below. And the one that I ordered actually is a rechargeable one. So it's a loupe with a rechargeable light. I'm just trying to stay away from things where I have to buy batteries for them. It just drives me nuts. It's just so much easier to just plug them in. I would highly recommend having some kind of magnification. With that, I also bought this, and it's not a monocle, it's just a necklace, and it's easy to put on and to have when I'm out thrifting, and then I can just easily pick up and look at something when I need that extra magnification. Periodically, I do pick up uranium glass items, and I do carry a black light with me. I think these come in packs of 2, but if you look at this, I was able to see that this is glowing uranium glass, and I do love that. Really pretty. I bought 2 of these. They were $3 each. Having a black light is really helpful. I will tell you this, when you carry a black light around and you go to a hotel, I'm just saying, be prepared. If you put the black light on, you may see things that will scar you forever. Something that I've seen quite a bit when I'm out at the bins are people wearing their utility gloves. I do like wearing them because you just don't know what's in some of these bins. They're kind of gross. So having some kind of hand protection is good, whether they're nitrile gloves, like these are really helpful just to protect your hands because you just don't know what's out there. Gloves are your friend when you're out picking, especially when you're in places that haven't been cleaned in a long time. Also, when you're using harsh cleaning solutions, the nitrile gloves are great to protect your hands. And something that I always keep in my car, hand sanitizer. This is my favorite one. This is from Trader Joe's. It's only $1.99. Hand sanitizer is your friend. If there's something that you use all the time in your reselling business that I didn't put in here, please drop a comment below. I hope this video was helpful in getting you started with what you really need and some of the things you don't really need as an eBay reseller. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, I think you might like this one next. Keep on thrifting.